The question on everyone's mind right now is this: where were the adults? Where were Justin's protectors when he was thrust into the chaotic world of fame, surrounded by industry titans with questionable motives? Hailey Bieber, who has been with Justin through some of his darkest chapters, is finally breaking her silence. And what she's revealing is both heartbreaking and disturbing, especially when it comes to Justin's history with Sean Diddy Combs. These are not just rumors or vague insinuations. According to Hailey, some of the memories Justin has been forced to revisit are deeply painful, linked directly to moments he never wanted the public to know about. It's no wonder he stayed silent. But now, with new lawsuits and accusations piling up against Diddy, the spotlight is once again turning to those early days of Justin's career and the company he kept. Diddy's influence on the music industry in the early 2000s was immense. From his connections to emerging talent to his legendary parties, he built a kingdom where power flowed like champagne. But with that power came unchecked access to young stars, including Justin Bieber. While Justin never publicly accused Diddy of wrongdoing, insiders say his silence might speak louder than words. The whispers about what went on behind closed doors are only growing louder. Let's rewind to when Justin was just 15, barely old enough to drive, but already topping charts and selling out arenas. Thanks to Usher, who took him under his wing, Justin entered a world dominated by celebrities, moguls, and massive egos. Usher himself had once been a protege of Diddy, having spent his formative years at what Diddy famously called Flavor Camp. Usher later hinted that what went on there wasn't exactly wholesome, and now it appears Justin may have endured similar experiences. Old photos and videos have recently resurfaced showing a teenage Bieber hanging out with Diddy at his infamous white parties. These weren't casual hangouts. We're talking lavish adult events, exclusive gatherings full of celebrities, alcohol, and grown-up behavior. So why was a teenage pop star being escorted into these environments? And more importantly, where were his guardians? Critics are demanding answers, especially as Hailey Bieber sheds light on how those years shaped Justin in ways fans never knew. According to Hailey, the emotional toll from that era continues to haunt him. He may have looked like he was living the dream, but behind the fame was a young boy overwhelmed, scared, and manipulated. And Hailey's not the only one speaking up. Former Playboy model Precious Muir recently shared her own disturbing memories of Diddy's parties, claiming that she saw firsthand how vulnerable Justin was. She told the Mirror US that she still regrets not doing more to help, especially seeing someone so young in such a chaotic, adult-dominated space. One comment of hers stuck out. She couldn't understand how a child was allowed to sleep over at a grown man's house. That alone should have raised red flags. She emphasized how parents and guardians should be the ultimate gatekeepers, not industry figures with their own agendas. In her view, Justin was left exposed at a critical moment in his life, and those responsible failed him, but it doesn't stop there. In a revealing YouTube interview, former Death Row Records boss Suge Knight made some deeply unsettling claims about Diddy's connection to young Justin. Knight suggested that Diddy may have taken a concerning interest in Justin during the early years of his fame. According to him, vacations were arranged where Justin, still just a teenager, was surrounded exclusively by older men. No women, no peers, just powerful men and a vulnerable boy. Knight described these alleged trips as romantic getaways, a claim that is as horrifying as it is heartbreaking. If what Knight is suggesting is true, Justin was not just thrust into an adult world. He may have been deliberately isolated from support systems, leaving him at the mercy of those in power. And it's not just old memories haunting Justin. A resurfaced video from years ago shows Diddy and rapper The Game handing young Justin drinks at a party. At the time, it was dismissed as celebrity fun. Now, in light of recent revelations, fans are rewatching the clip with new eyes and asking difficult questions. Was Justin coerced? Was he being groomed under the guise of mentorship? According to sources close to the Biebers, Justin has been emotionally wrecked since all this started gaining attention. He's withdrawn, more reclusive, and often overwhelmed. Hailey has reportedly told friends that revisiting these memories has caused significant stress for Justin. She says he's been struggling to process it all, especially knowing how much was kept hidden or excused simply because of who was involved. It's a tragic realization. While fans adored the teen idol on stage, no one was looking out for the boy behind the curtain. Hailey's candidness has has only added urgency to this story. She's revealed that Justin has privately wrestled with guilt, confusion, and trauma linked to those years, and she wants the world to know that much of what he endured was beyond his control. The way Hailey tells it, Justin's involvement with Diddy wasn't just about industry connections, it was about power and manipulation. She believes Justin was drawn in by promises of fame, guided by figures who didn't always have his best interests at heart, and once inside that circle, he had few people to lean on. That's a tough reality for anyone to face, let alone someone who was still figuring out who he was. As more people begin to speak out, the conversation around Diddy's influence continues to evolve. What was once whispered in back rooms is now being shouted from the headlines. Allegations of sex trafficking, racketeering, and manipulation are piling up. And while Justin has never publicly accused Diddy of anything, his silence is being interpreted as a sign of just how deeply the wounds go. Fans are now looking back at Justin's early years with a sense of sorrow. They remember the smiles, the music, the rise, but now they see the cracks that were always there. What they once thought was glamour and mentorship now looks like exploitation, and the fact that these questions are only being asked now raises another haunting question. How many other young stars went through the same thing? Hailey's revelations have shifted the narrative. No longer is this just about Justin's fame. It's about the cost of that fame. It's about a system that failed to protect him. It's about how the people meant to guide him either abandoned him or enabled toxic environments. It's about understanding that sometimes, behind the flash and the fun, there are shadows that leave permanent scars. One of the hardest things to hear from Hailey was how often Justin questioned his own memories. According to her, there were times he wondered if he was overreacting or misinterpreting events. But as the years went on, and as more women and insiders came forward with their own stories about Diddy, Justin began to see the truth. He wasn't imagining things, he was manipulated, vulnerable, and at times unsafe. And as this truth settles in, Hailey's role becomes even more significant. She's not just a supportive wife, she's someone who has witnessed the long-term effects of Justin's past trauma. She's held him during breakdowns, encouraged therapy, and defended him when the pressure became too much. Her decision to speak now isn't about revenge, it's about justice. It's about finally giving voice to a pain that was buried for far too long. While no legal actions have been taken by Justin against Diddy, the court of public opinion is heating up. Fans are demanding accountability, not just for what may have happened to Justin, but for the broader culture of silence and abuse within the music industry. They want change, they want protection for today's young artists, and they want Justin to find peace. What's perhaps most tragic is that so much of Justin's trauma was invisible to the world. While fans screamed his name and bought his albums, he was silently suffering. And now that he's older, wiser, and surrounded by love, those old wounds are finally being acknowledged. But healing takes time, and with every headline that mentions Diddy's alleged crimes, Justin is forced to confront a past he never asked for. The music industry has always had a dark side, but Hailey's words remind us that the consequences of that darkness can last a lifetime. Justin may have survived it, but others might not be so lucky. And if there's one silver lining to all of this, it's that speaking out can lead to change. As Diddy faces mounting legal trouble, the spotlight will only grow hotter. More names may come forward, more stories may emerge. And through it all, Justin Bieber remains a powerful reminder of why these conversations matter. He was the golden boy whose light nearly got extinguished. And now, finally, people are listening.